You're listening to Paris: A State of Mind on Paris Underground Radio.
Welcome to Paris: A State of Mind. Join us as we talk about the good, the bad, the ins, the outs of property rentals and purchases in and around Paris. We'll have topics for renters, owners, and visitors, share questions we are regularly asked, and more. My name is Gail Boisclair of Perfectly Paris, and my co-host is Marie Pistinier of Lokim Paris. Be a part of it. Both of us are proud members of the SPLM, the first representative body of furnished rental professionals. Bonjour, Marie.
Bonjour Gail, comment ça va?
Ça va très bien. Et toi?
Very good, very good. A good way to start for a change.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows, if you don't speak French, that's exactly the same way we start every other time, except this time. Oh, it's in a different language. We might surprise you next time. You never know. Well, welcome back, our lovely listeners. Today we're on part 4 of our Managing Your Vacation Rental series, and we're talking about maintaining your property for rentals. So this is something really important.
Yes, that's a big topic, Gail. And as much as everyone thinks their apartment or home is perfect, it may in truth, but only be perfect for them, right?
Oh, definitely. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as they say, right? I mean, some people might look at my place and think like, oh, well, this is like, where do you live? In a junkyard? You know, I've got so many things all over the place. But it's another thing. It's like looking at things with rose-colored glasses. That's the way that we see our own place.
Yes, la vie en rose.
We're really Frenchy today, aren't we?
Yes, I don't know why.
Maybe because we're in France.
Maybe that we studied in French, so that's the thing. That so yes, talking about maintenance, it's true that we do have always improvement that can be made. One of the things that is important for the vacation rental that you need to have a home which is constantly maintained in order to make sure that you can make your rental. I usually on my side when I used to do vacation rentals, but it's the same on the medium and long stays. I try to wait until the owners start to have some income flowing before asking for some upgrades, but it's not always possible. So
yeah, it's true. And I feel the same way. I always feel really bad to, first of all, you hit a brand new owner with a list of things that they have to have in their apartment, or they really should have in their apartment before they start renting it out. So they've got the expense of buying the apartment. They've got the expense of furnishing it. They've got the expense of properly equipping the kitchen and so on and so forth. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to ask for yet again more things. But the problem is because an owner has probably not lived in their actual apartment for any length of time, it's possible that they may not even be aware of what they need, what needs to be looked at, what might be damaged, for example.
yes, that's exactly it. Like they may not realize that they don't have a cutting board, sharp knives, or even a wine opener.
Well, wait, wine opener? Marie, oh my gosh, they don't realize they don't have a wine opener? Are they in France? Who doesn't have one in France? Oh.
At least one. So how many do you have, Gail?
Oh, probably better not to ask. I don't want people to get the wrong idea about me. But I'll tell you what, I got more than one. And if you need to borrow one, I've got more than one after I give you one. And I've got more than that.
Thank you very much. And yes, these are the things that are very basic, but needs to be in your property. There are also more things that are more important to consider, like is the bed comfortable? Is the apartment a place where you would enjoy coming home after a long day of sightseeing, for example? Or if you are going to work from home, people are going to be there. Are they going to feel home? Is it comfortable enough for you and yourself? Do you have also any proper workspace for those who are going to work away from the desk?
Well, and that's all very true, because we all need to try to look at it with the eyes of someone staying in the apartment for the first time. So somebody just walking in there has never been in there before, and they're expecting it to be their home away from home. Maybe for a few days, maybe for a few weeks, maybe for a few months, who knows? And like we talked a bit of things needed to rent out an apartment to be furnished in episode 3. So it might be maybe useful for listeners to go back and replay that episode and rehear what we said then.
Yeah, and I think that owners need to look at their holiday homes not as a holiday homes actually, but are their actual homes. So like that, they can see what improvement that can be done, or at least they can feel okay when we are going to say to them that their homes need improvement. And it's true. I come back to what you said earlier. It's frustrating for them to hear that. Okay, I think that this and that shouldn't be this way, or you should improve by that, because it's a lot of already a lot of investment in time and in money in their home, but it needs to be good enough. If you don't welcome the guests in a well-maintained home, then there's a lot of chance that you are going to get your place back in a not that well-maintained home. So that means that people will be more careful if we brought them everything they do need and if the comfort is at the maximum. So, and I think it's a part of the responsibility that the owner has to take with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the owner has to understand that if they want somebody to, I don't know, not dry the dishes with a pillowcase, then maybe they need a sufficient amount of tea towels. But I mean, there's all kinds of little things. And it's actually in my property management agreement, to be honest, saying that it is the owner's responsibility to do that. Of course, I'm happy to give them any sort of feedback and things like that. But I mean, they need to fix their property in a way that is conducive to furnished rentals, whether that be for somebody on a short stay, since we're talking about vacation rentals, or not. Either way, it just needs to be designed for that to be fair to the guest. Because I mean, otherwise, if a guest is staying in a hotel and if they need something in a hotel, they're just going to call room service, and the room service will deliver whatever it is they need. Oh, my iron's not broken, or my iron's not working, it's broken. Then they're going to deliver a new iron straight away. So I mean, it's not that we have to look at ourselves like hotel people, but to a certain extent you kind of do.
No, but people comes with higher expectations. And but when we say that it's the owner responsibility to fix, it's not that we are going to ask the owner to do that in particular, but we are going to ask him or her to let us fix the things for them in order to make sure that the apartment or the property is going to be fixed. And
Yeah.
some things are very well with rentals, but other things are not at all acceptable, depending on the issue.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's like curtain rods, dining chairs, toilet seats. Toilet seats. Marie, toilet seats. I've lived in Paris over 20 years, and I can probably count just on one hand only the amount of times my toilet seat at home has needed to be changed. Apartments. Talk about rental apartments. What do people do with toilet seats?
I don't know, but
How many people sit on a toilet seat? I really don't know. But it seems that they're always becoming loose, they're broken. Do you find that?
yes,
Toilet seats.
same.
I know it's a big thing, but
It was not exactly what I meant, but yes, I noticed that too in our apartment. It's like very often, and short stays and long stays. That's the same battle.
oh my God.
But no, I was thinking like, of course, owners don't have that much budget left for decoration, and probably they are going to go for like a simple sofa bed, like a click like. But once they have some incomes, then hopefully they will go and move on to replace it with a better quality sofa, and maybe it will not be a click like. So
A click clack. So you know what? I didn't even know when I moved here. I don't know. I can't remember the first time somebody said the word click clack. And I'm like, what the heck is a click clack? Okay. In reality, it makes sense if you think of the way that it kind of opens and closes this particular type of sofa bed, but I never heard of it before. So, for our listeners who may be just like I used to be and don't know what it is, it's kind of sort of like a futon in the way that it's open. So it's kind of like folded over the top. There's part of the mattress that's folded over the top. And like that's kind of the click clack thing. And it's the way that it opens that's similar to like a futon, but it's also one of the least expensive types of sofa beds you can find. And I mean, I get the attractiveness in terms of price, but I'm not so sure on the quality or the comfort that it has. And anyway, but moving on from click clacks, another good upgrade you can have in an apartment that doesn't maybe have a space for an oven is to invest in a high quality combination microwave oven. I mean, those things now are state of the art. You need an engineering degree to kind of figure it out. But
Yeah. If you have a correct property manager, then he can make a little note for the guests to know exactly how to use a combination microwave oven without making the thing explode. But that's true. And we can go forever about improvement, but it's often related to maintaining the property, but not always. There is regular things to do, such as, but I think we mentioned that, like the silicone joints in the bathroom or on the kitchen wash basin, for example. And it's very, very important. And can you think about other things that need to be maintained?
Oh, there's a gazillion things. Like a flat should have a good spring cleaning at least once or twice a year. And it should include things like having the curtains all taken down and the rugs removed and all of these things professionally cleaned. It could be also touched up of paint because it happens. No one does things usually on purpose, but things get nicked and stuff. It's also cleaning out the drawers, like the cupboards and the drawers, the kitchen, the silverware drawer, for example.
Yes, this is
I hate
exactly.
seeing crumbs in a silverware drawer.
Yeah, this is a space where you have dust, and yes, you have to make sure that's done regularly.
Yeah. And even the baseboards, like all of these things, those are things that, like, the list can really go on. And I mean, somebody can turn around and say, oh, well, that should be done every time. It's like, oh, yeah, sure. If you want to pay a cleaner to clean a 50 square meter apartment, if you want to pay them 5 hours to clean every time to do this,
Yeah.
well, happy days. But I mean, there's no time. There's never time to clean that all in one single go. So, I mean, it's a special cleaning that you have to ask a cleaning service or a cleaner to do.
Yeah, and especially as we are talking about vacation rental in particular, because cleaning and maintaining a flat, for example, in Paris, yes, this is something you have to do. But when you do have regular tourists coming up, regular guests coming up, you cannot say, okay, I'll wait for the next clients, because you have to have it perfect when you check in. Like if you start to see the problem with the paint, or if the drawer has some dust, if you are doing a monthly rentals, like few months, then you can of course have the time before to do the things, and you have a little more time, and then the guy is there for 2 3 or 5 months or 6 months, and then it's okay, you'll do that another in 6 months. Like you check when the guy check out, and if he didn't clean the thing, then you will hire a professional in order to, and you will charge him because he didn't do the cleaning as well. But when you are with a client on vacation rentals, it's a tourist. The guy is not going to clean the drawer when he's going to leave and to rush for to take his 8 p.m. Flight or 8 a.m. flight in the morning. So you do have to have, for each time your client's coming in, you need to have the place in the best shape you can go. So that means that eyes on maintenance is has to be more accurate than when you do a few months booking. It's completely different way to do that, because one client who is unhappy with your apartment, saying, okay, the door of the bathroom door is not closing correctly, and then you cannot say that because this is going to be something bad, so you may have a bad review for that. So
Yeah.
if you one guest is saying to you there is an issue with the bathroom door, then you should send the maintenance team in order to fix it.
No, it's definitely important. Now, the thing too that we have to bring up with regards to maintenance, and I know this is something that we've mentioned in the past as well too, is if somebody doesn't tell us that there's something wrong, sometimes there's no way for us to know. If we don't use the coffee maker and they don't use the coffee maker, then how do we know that the coffee maker doesn't work?
Yes, exactly. So you have to ask your guests also to tell you when there is an issue. And you have to ask them to feel free to tell me. So, of course, fingers crossed so they don't come up with the 20 items to, to verify and check. But it's important to ask them to be and to eventually be proactive. So the guy arrived, and on the second day, he said to you, okay, the coffee machine is not working. So you need to maintain the place, but you have to maintain it fast. You don't wait for the seventh day when they're going to actually leave, because this is when you are going to get the bad review. So if the coffee maker is not working, then you send someone. Either you say to the client, if it's urgent, buy one in in the next supermarket close to you, or you just send someone over to change the coffee maker, because
Yeah.
you can't wait, or you take it's at your own risk, as we say.
If you're enjoying this episode of Paris, A State of Mind, you may also be interested in our sister podcast, Storytime in Paris. Join Jennifer as she asks 5 questions to authors who've been inspired by Paris. Paris, A State of Mind will be right back after a word from our sponsors. And now back to Paris, A State of Mind. Well, yeah, it's not really, when people are coming for a holiday, they don't have time. They don't have time to go buy a coffee maker. And why should they have to take time out of their holiday to go buy a stupid coffee maker because the coffee maker is not working? All they should be able to do is say, our coffee maker is not working. We need a new one. And you should be able to say, okay. And this is where having eyes and ears, it's the property manager, it's the owner, the greeter, the cleaning person. All of these people have to have eyes in the property to notice these things, hopefully, before a guest does. The electronics, it's hard to notice if there is a problem with it.
Yeah, that was I was going to say, like, your washing machine is like dying on the same day as your clients are arriving.
Yeah.
That's complicated to change from a day to another. So sometimes we can, but it's not always the case. And if so, be ready to make a nice gesture in order to make sure that your client is not going to run mad about you. But yes, for the little things, you can definitely, the little maintenance, it's something that we should all be aware of. It's really important in order to have the guest. To make sure that the guest will have a very nice stay, and that will recommend you, because that's what you want. You want returning guests. This is
Yeah.
what you want in the end.
And I have actually a true, 100% true maintenance story that happened to me yesterday. So yesterday I was at an apartment waiting for the guests, and just like what I said, I did go through all the cupboards, rearrange some plates that weren't to my liking, my Virgo neuroticness. And, after I finished my little rearranging, I went, and when I got to the bedroom, I wanted to open the curtains. So I pulled open the curtain, and the curtain rod fell down
Oh
on
gosh.
my head. The guests, it's a true story. The guests were already on their way to the apartment from the airport. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Well, I can't repair that myself. So I called. Fortunately, I work with a professional cleaning company that also provides maintenance, thankfully for me. And this was actually on a Sunday. And
Wow.
so, on top of all of that, so I picked up my phone and I called the person in charge and I told them what happened. And they said, when are the guests coming? And I said, they're in a
Now.
taxi on the way here. And they said, all right, are you in the apartment now? Yep. Okay, I'm sending somebody right now. And literally, it was fixed before the guests got there.
It's like, it sounds like a 911 call,
Yeah,
stay in the
it was. It was
apartment,
like
don't move.
911, 911. I have a curtain rod on my head. Oh my
Very
God.
good.
But that's something, for example, to be honest, it could have happened just as much with the guest as it did with me.
Mm. Yeah, sure. Sure. So no, this is a full thing, and I think that we do probably have to do a next episode with about maintenance and cleaning and all the things that you should know and should do in order of making sure that what is the rhythm to maintain that and that, and what is the rhythm to do the deep spring break spring cleaning or thing like that. And also, I guess some fun story of things happening with the guest. Maybe we'll try to do that next time with one of our guests.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think the next episode will be, using a professional cleaning service. That'll be our next episode. And we have to think of some fun things to do about guests and things like that. We have to put our thinking cap about
Yeah,
that. I really can't even speak anymore today. Anyway, oh
no
well.
problem. Thank you very much, Gail.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and hopefully you're enjoying our ramblings. Au revoir. À
Bye
bientôt.
bye. À très bientôt.
Thanks for listening to Paris, A State of Mind, featuring Gail of Perfectly Paris and Marie of Lokim, both who are founding members of the SPLM. Paris, A State of Mind is produced by Paris Underground Radio. The music, Jazz in Paris, is by Media Right Productions. For more information on this show and others, go to parisundergroundradio.com.
This episode of Paris: A State of Mind was produced by Jennifer Garrity for Paris Underground Radio. For more on this show and shows like it, please visit parisundergroundradio.com.